We're good.
Hi, this is Bob from the EarthBox, and we're going to show you how easy and quick it is to plant an EarthBox. So let's get started. This is how we do it at the EarthBox Garden Center. When you get your box, it comes with 2 covers, an instruction book, and a tube. We'll put these aside for right now. We'll check, make sure my grid's in okay, which it is. I don't know if you can see, that one's in correctly. The corners match up with the 2 corners that are cut out. Now I'm going to put my tube in. Now I'm ready to put some soil in. Very important what type of soil you put in. At the EarthBox Garden Center, we use a high-grade potting mix. Very important to use the right type of soil. This one's got about 80-85% Canadian peat, vermiculite, and perlite. But as a high-grade potting mix will work the best for you. Very important. Okay, I'll go ahead and fill it all the way up, spread it out evenly. Remember, there's 2 corners that go out and down into a water reservoir. It waters from the bottom up. I like to press that in there firmly, get the soil down in those 2 corners. And now I'm ready to get it wet. Sometimes I give it a little shake, that'll help pack it in a little bit. And we'll go ahead and get this soil wet. You really can't wet it too much, because once you fill the reservoir, it just runs out the overflow. The only downside to it, if you have to move your box, it just makes it heavier than it really needs to be. So I'm gonna just kind of get the soil wet from top to bottom. And since I'm not gonna leave this box here, I'm not gonna wet it anymore than I have to. Okay, that ought to do it. Now we're ready to put in our dolomite. We have 2 types of fertilizers. Dolomite, which is a fertilizer with a lot of calcium, magnesium, and a mixture of starter fertilizer. Then our high analysis fertilizer, which is a 6-8-10. And this is enough to grow 50 pounds of tomatoes. High analysis will burn, low analysis will not. Go in very differently. This one we mix in the top 2 inches of the soil. We'll cut this, spread it out evenly. You can kind of work that in a little bit. There we go, I ought to do that. Working in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the soil in. I like to leave it kind of crowned up in the middle, because you do want water to drain off of it. I mean, it's possible water could puddle in here and steam your plants, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so I've got that crowned up pretty good. Give it a little shake. Okay, let me go ahead and wet it again and get that soil wet. Yeah, the soil, it takes 2 cubic feet of soil. 2 cubic feet, and that's exactly what we have mixed up in one of those bags. Okay, now we've got it crowned up. I've wet that topsoil. I'm going to make a trench down the middle to hold my high analysis fertilizer. You can use anything you want. We'll use this tube here. It seems to work pretty good. You can use your finger. Plants really don't care. Get a little trench there for that fertilizer. Okey-doke. And then we're going to put in the high analysis fertilizer. Again, this is for tomatoes. It'll make 50 pounds of tomatoes. I'm going to plant some pepper plants in here. So we'll spread this evenly over the whole top. There we go. Like I said, this is our only special blend of a 6-8-10. There we go. And we use this for all our vegetables and most things. I do use a slow fertilizer, slow release fertilizer sometimes for flowers or strawberries or something that's long term. I like to press the fertilizer in, that way the water can come up and make good contact. You don't have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and seal that in with a little bit more soil. There we go. There we go. I actually have a little bit of soil left. Spread that out evenly. Press it in a little bit. Wet it one last time. Now we're ready to put our cover on. Okay. We have two different colors on it. We've got a black and a white side on the cover. It's definitely hot here in Florida. This is the early part of August. I'm gonna definitely put the white side up. Have 2 holes. Put this one hole over this side. Slide this over. Okay. It's very important to put the cover on. It helps protect that fertilizer since we just put in enough to last the entire duration of what we're growing. Also, it's a plastic mulch, and also I'm keeping disease and keeping it sterile and clean a little bit longer. I like to always mark where my fertilizer is. I like to put the date. Wow, today is August the 4th, and I'm gonna plant some peppers. I'm gonna put some poblanos on here, in here. So I'm gonna write on there poblanos. But you can write anything you want on there. You can put your own name on there, you know, whatever. Okay, now we're gonna cut some holes. I like, in the instructions it shows people cutting X's. You can do that. I like to cut a hole myself. we go. So now you can use your finger, stake, whatever. I'm gonna be planting these size plants. So I'm gonna make a hole for whatever size roots come out of there. If I'm planting bigger plants, I'll usually take a little of the soil out, pile it up, then put it back in on top. For these, I don't have to do that. Okay, hope these guys come out of here. There we go. Always handle them by the roots, not by the stem. Press them in firm, pack a little soil around them. Always be aware not to disturb that fertilizer in there. There we go. That one in there. Press it down firmly in the soil. Pull that one out. Press that down firmly in the soil also. Yeah, 6 is a real common number. We plant many things. The number 6. You can check with your planting guide to see what plants work the best. Usually it's better to have less than too many. Air and sunlight's always your friend in gardening. Okay, we've got these guys planted here. So what are these in? We are done. Water will help seal the air out of there and pack the roots in there. And you can, if you got a little liquid fertilizer, like Plant Food 20-20-20, you can put some of that around it. I like to never wet the tops, always just wet the roots. That way I don't burn them or anything, and just kind of pack that in. This is done. You want to set it where it gets the required sunlight. Can't overwater it. Put the water in through the tube, runs out the overflow, which is on this side over here, the same side with the tube. And this is completely done. That's with the fertilizer down the middle for 6 or more plants. Now I've got these already set up. I'm going to show you how I would plant 4 plants or 2 plants. As you can see, I have that fertilizer down the middle right here. That full bag of fertilizer that I put this way is down this way. This is good for 4 plants or 2 plants. So I'm going to put a cover on this real quick and plant 4 plants, and then I'll do one with 2. These covers are a little different. There's some we make at the store. A little harder to put on, but they fit a little tighter. Okay. There we go. I'll mark where that fertilizer is. Put the date. And I'm going to plant in here some cucumbers. Then I'll cut my 4 holes. Remember, you want to stay away from the edge about 1 inch. You don't want to put it right on the edge, because if the wind blows it, it could rub it on there and kind of mess up your plant. Like I said, the better you can spread something out is good. It's always good to spread the plants out more. Air and sunlight, like I say, is always your friend. Goes out of there. Okay, make some holes with my finger. These are pretty small cucumber plants. I'm hoping they come out of there okay. If not, you still get the picture. The reason we like this way is we got more room to work, and I can center my plants on in here. In the instruction books from Novelty, it puts the fertilizer over here on this side, which is perfectly fine. It'll make just as many. To me, I can just center it up. It's a little safer for me to work. But really, the plant doesn't really care. Get these guys out of here if I can. Come on out of there. You always let gravity help you when you get plants kind of squeezed, and turn it upside down. See if you can let them come out. Not coming out too good. I think I got it okay. There we go. Pack these in lightly. Like I say, these are pretty small, tender plants, so be real careful with them. Try not to handle the stem too much. Press them firm. A little water around that. And we are done. That's how we plant 4 plants. So 6 or more, we plant the fertilizer this way. 4 or 2, we put it across this way. Okay, let me slide this out of the way, and we'll do one with 2 plants. I'll plant a couple tomatoes. We plant lots and lots of tomatoes. Get a little crowded here, but I think I got room. Okay, same thing. The fertilizer's across this way. I'm going to cover it up with a cover. Same thing, white side up. Okay, mark it again. Put the date on here. And these are Tasty Leaf tomatoes. We sell a lot of Tasties. It's one of my favorite, very good eating tomato. Okay. Look at what I did with my razor knife. There we go. And I'll cut 2 holes here. Yeah, Tomatoes, we put 2 in. That's about the only, other than them and eggplant work real well with just 2. Make my holes here. Careful, handle them out of the roots. These are pretty small plants, but they should be fine. The other one. Okay, watermelon, we are done. So that's how quick easy it is to plant an EarthBox. We just planted 3 of them here. Granted, I had 2 ready, but very quick and easy to do. Watermelon, we are done. And that is how we do it at the EarthBox Garden Center.